Let's start by the hourly fee, which is one of the most popular ways to price your project. Basically, what we discussed earlier about the operational cost, and you need to figure out your hourly rate regardless if you're going to charge hourly or not. Now, how do people charge hourly? Either they do it by charging the client invoices, several invoices. Each week completed in the project, they invoice the client and then they wait for the client to pay that invoice so they can continue the project. So this is very important method to use. It's mostly used in the US and Europe. It's much more familiar. It's less used in the Middle East unless you are using the hourly fee to actually justify a flat fee, which we will be talking about later on. So this is how it works. What you need to do is figure out your hourly fee, and then you need to be tracking your time. I really suggest that you download a software tracking time and track your time regardless if you're going to charge hourly or not. So if you're working on a certain task, have Toggle open next to you or even your stopwatch on your iPhone or something, and make sure that you track everything that you work on, because you need to understand how much you're working anyway. It's usually used for when the scope is not so clear to everyone. Like, we don't know exactly how much time we're going to be spending. So we define the time blocks that we have by charging a certain amount for them. What I think is best for is consultation. Smaller projects can be charged hourly much easier if they have specific requirements, not like open-ended. Even if there's a scope creep into that project, then you have like a justification to charge more. And then even when working with other service providers, so if you are going, for example, to a kitchen warehouse or something that you are viewing for the client, you can bill for your time. And it's perfect for indecisive clients, because that means that if they take extra time with you on a call or doing something, or if they make you go on several trips for a piece of furniture, then you can charge for that time. And also it works for detailed and computer work, which is also great for a designer. So that's what the hourly fee is for. So let's talk about the pros and cons, because let me tell you, each of these pricing modules, they have pros and cons, and it's your job to see which one is the perfect fit for you. The pros of it is it's fair to both client and the designer. It's ideal for tracking time invested in the project, ensuring payment for additional work, and avoiding scope creep. And you can have flexible billing cycles. So for example, you can do it weekly, you can do it monthly, bi-weekly, bi-month, whatever is set on your contract is what you can bill for, or for the timeline as well. And it means that if there's like a project that's going to take you longer, that means that you're able to charge more. Now, the cons is that if you're fast, you're actually being punished, not rewarded. So if I complete a mood board in 30 minutes while someone else takes an entire 4 hours or 6 hours completing a mood board, then that means I'm not charging properly, because the longer you work on a skill, the faster you become at that particular skill. But that's exactly why we talked about the formula in the beginning, and we said that you need to have the baseline match up your expertise as well. So this is a way to overcome the cons. In each of these models, we'll have scenarios. This is one of the scenarios. First of all, if someone is reaching out to you and they're telling you they love your portfolio, they'd like to hire you to redesign their master bedroom, their living room, their whatever, then it's a good way to reach out, but not all clients do that. So you need to make sure that you click in the beginning. And they might ask you how much do you charge right at the get-go. And this, to me, like if they don't even say hi and they ask you how much do you charge, is a bit of a red flag. I mean, of course, you can still reply. Maybe they're in a hurry, maybe they're in a rush, maybe they're messaging a lot of people. So you need to understand what's happening here. But yeah, what you can say is thank you, and let's talk about it. We're going to be introducing characters right now because I wanted to make this fun for you. And so we have Kaylin, who is our client, and Rosemary is our designer. Kaylin wants to reach out to Rosemary, and Rosemary charges hourly. So here is a scenario on how the conversation would go. I can't do voices, but I think I'll edit it edit some voices here. So Kaylin would say, I'm interested in hiring you to redesign my living room, but I'm not sure about the pricing. How does it work? Can you please explain it to me? What you can say is, absolutely, I work on hourly fee basis, which means I charge for the actual time I spend working on your project. It's 150 per hour. So our designer, Rosemary, she is experienced and she knows exactly how much she charges per hour. This model offers flexibility and ensures that you're only paying for the time where I'm dedicating for creating your perfect space. She'll answer her back, why do you prefer to charge by the hour instead of a flat rate? And then Rosemary would say, charging hourly allows me to accommodate any changes that often arise during the creative process without having to negotiate the project cost. It ensures fairness for both of us. You're not overcharged if we work efficiently together, and my time is valued for the bespoke designs that you receive. So the next natural question Kaylin would ask is, that makes sense, but how do you keep track of the hour? So what Rosemary might say, I log my hours with detailed description of the work done, and I provide regular updates so you can see exactly where your investment goes. Transparency is key in my service. And you can show an example here. Rosemary can show an example to Kaylin so she can be more comfortable on seeing how she tracks the hours. So Kaylin naturally said, sounds good, and let's proceed, which is great.